Ladies and gentlemen, friends and enemies, colleagues and co-workers, welcome to the Umar Johnson Show.
That when we get educated, we are seldom of any use to our people because the education we get is one that alienates us and makes us in a servant posture as opposed to a leadership posture. Important, it is a brainwash education. Carter G. Woodson said that after he got his doctorate out of Harvard, it took him about 20 years to undo the menticide, and he was the father of black history. He said it took him 20 years. And we got to stop trying to place our origin at any place other than Africa because we don't like it. Very important. But that nationhood, why nationhood? Because nationhood is the only self-protection you got. If you don't grow your own food, it can be used to kill you. If you don't teach your own children, they can and are being used to kill you. You got to stop letting people control your worldview and your perspective. Informational warfare is more important than militaristic because if you can control mind, you never got to have a military struggle. The reason why they're in Afghanistan and Iraq and the reason why Russia got to be in Georgia is because they can't control the opponent's mind. The consequence of that behavior will either decrease the likelihood of it happening again or increase the likelihood of it happening again. And I say that consequently because you hear a lot of black people say, why are things getting worse? It's because you do nothing about them. Absolutely. And by not doing anything, you actually encourage the same behavior again that you wish never happened in the first place. When people first learned about MOVE, okay, and I was 10 years old at the time, they showed up on the news with guns as if they were trying to terrorize the city, okay, or disrespect police. Now, what you're telling us, which was never shared by way of newspaper or TV or radio, is that the reason MOVE took the defensive stance of protecting their lives was because they had women, several of which I heard you mention about 3 or 4 at least, okay, who were beaten to the point of miscarriage. Not to mention that one of the sisters was bum rushed by an officer, dropped their child, and the officer stomped on the head of a young African baby. So naturally, anybody who goes through that type of behavior and learns that degree of mistrust, you're naturally going to want to look out for yourself.
Does MOVE believe in violence? I mean, did y'all have guns on May 13th? And I'm sitting here listening to this, and I'm like, you saw hundreds of cops admitting that they shot thousands of rounds of bullets at us. You know, you saw them drop a bomb on us, ignite a fire.
37.5 pounds of C4 given by the CIA to the Philadelphia
by the federal government. That's right. And you're looking at me, asking me about MOVE being violent. What did you see us do? What did you see us do? That's right.
Mumia, on the other hand, when he would see my kids coming up, and he would pause it, and then he would go and interview them, and make them a part of, and because they were a part of it. But this is Mumia Abu Jamal in the prisons, and Mumia used to make sweet potato pie, raw sweet potato pie for the inmates in there. Mumia is known as the grandfather up there on death row because he helped people, you know, inside the prison. The night that Mumia was viciously shot, beaten up, you know, head split open, they said the only thing that could kill Mumia at that particular point if he got pneumonia. They put him in, you know, when they brought him to D.C., they didn't give him a blanket. They didn't give him a blanket. A nurse who heard him on the radio brought him gauze, brought him a blanket. But we need people to do for Mumia what you did for Obama. and don't be visible. Get into the streets.
That's
And I'm
right.
saying,
That's
you know, just like they was up
That's
there,
right.
you know,
Screaming,
getting
shouting,
pictures,
writing letters,
you know, selling,
T-shirts,
you know, that's right.
finding his
Do it.
name in the Bible.
And you know, at one point, you saw it. It was very visible. There was no place in Philadelphia you can go to where you did not see Mumia.
Not only that, even the vendors.
That's right.
Even the African American vendors.
They get away with them.
They ditched they Garvey buttons, they Malcolm buttons. You follow me?
That's right.
They ditched they Mumia t-shirts. All the African cultural stuff that you normally get from a black vendor. I was pissed off this past summer. I'm not going to lie.
That's right.
Every festival I went to buy something cultural, Obama t-shirts, Obama belt buckles, Obama hats, Obama buttons. And it wasn't like they had the Obama stuff and the black conscious stuff. Obama became black consciousness.
Right.
How in the hell can that sellout become black consciousness?
Exactly.
But that's exactly what happened. You don't want to talk, Sister Fatima?
I got another question for her.
You on the Fed's payroll? Get it off.
They don't want to help the abused child that's in a home that's obviously a home where the child is being abused. It's obvious. The neighbors and everybody is letting them know that this child is being starved, this child is being beaten unnecessarily, and they drag their feet.
That's what scares a lot of black folks off. Oh, now they can just come in the house anytime. Now, where I live at, I have a buddy of mine, and he came up to me and was like, yo, DHS came up into the house. I said, in who house? In his house. And he told them to leave. And they said they'll be back with a court order.
So we was always a part of his life, but we just never really physically had him. But once the people started wanting to adopt him, his DH worker, white lady, she told us, no, don't let these people adopt y'all, you know, my nephew, our family. She said, don't do it. And she urged me to go get custody of him, and that's exactly what I did.
Well, in this tough economic climate, particularly with blacks who've been hit harder than any other group in the country because of such, we have to say that that has a lot to do with why our children are not getting adopted. I mean, there's so many problems that are going on, then we're going to put that on top of it, bring another child into the household.
But the whole time that you're pregnant, you're eating fast food, smoking and drinking. So now they tell you they got to give you a special needle so the baby be healthy and the baby come out done in. So you're taking all that epidural up there, messing with the child's organs before they even breathe. And now the heartbeat is going too fast and slowing down because the baby is drugged up and they ain't even been here yet. Before Ritalin, they already drugged up. And so now they got to cut your stomach open because we think we're losing them. Because you don't want to do it the old way. And then they put you up on some table with some gurneys and open you up, right, to pull, and that's not even the natural current of things. In Africa, you squat down. You understand? So you up here struggling because you want to have a baby the pretty way. Okay? Not the natural way. It looks more civilized to push this way when gravity pulls this way. And so in Africa, the babies just drop right on out because you squat down. Okay? And then some of us all sick with food all stuck up because when you go to the restroom, again, you like to do it pretty. But in Africa, you squat down and get it all out so you're not getting sick. A bag of garbage all up in your intestines, turning into cancer because you want to look civilized. Very important stuff.